No, this is actually my second trip to Turkey. My first was about 4 years ago when I was here for the IBAN Congress that was hosted for the first time in Istanbul. And that was when I first saw the strength of the Turkish startup ecosystem. And I'm delighted to come back here now to Antalya to see how it's grown even more since then. So Gust is now the world's largest network for entrepreneurs and investors, with over 300,000 startup companies around the world, over 50,000 accredited investors on the platform, and it's the official platform for over 25 national federations of angel investors and nearly 80% of the world's organized business angel networks and groups. So it's growing very, very rapidly. We're adding all kinds of features. One of the first things that we've done on top of the matching entrepreneurs and angels and providing tools for both of them is to power entrepreneurship ecosystems. So we have our first client for that was New York City. So Gust powers the entire entrepreneurship ecosystem in New York City. It's a site called digital.nyc. New York City has its own top-level domain that it got earlier this year. And digital.nyc has every single startup and investor and job and event and workspace and blog and video and class and news article, everything on the startup space on one platform. And that's powered by Gust, and now we're doing that around the world in other major cities and countries as well, and hopefully we'll do one in Turkey at some point. So the first thing is, don't need investment. If you can start up your company by bootstrapping and by being smart about spending money, you don't need to raise money. Raising money should only be done if you have to, not because everybody else is doing it. And if you can start your company by bootstrapping, by customer focused revenues, then you will be a stronger company. You'll be able to survive if you can't find angel funding or venture funding. You'll be a stronger company for when you do find outside financing as well. There are several good books that have come out within the last year or so on startup financing, not getting it from somebody else, but rather generating it yourself from your operations and from strategic partners and the like. And that would be my number one advice. Don't take money from me. I'm not as familiar as I'd like to be, but I know a little bit about it, having been here again 4 years ago and seen it at this time, and seeing what's happening here at Startup Turkey and the kinds of things that are being done by TEB. TEB's new angel investor platform as a bank is really unique in the world. I know of no other bank in no other country that is doing something as integrated for companies on the one hand and investors on the other hand as a platform. What you're seeing here at Startup Turkey is showing that this is becoming a regional center for entrepreneurship, and I noticed that here last time as well. So yes, it's nascent. Yes, there isn't quite the entrepreneurial history and culture here in the region that there is in the U.S., but it's starting. Because this is the future. The future is going to be made completely, 100% by the companies that are starting today. And I think Turkey is recognizing that ahead of many other countries, and I'm delighted to see what's happening here.